But hello everyone, like Tito Alan mentioned, I'm Arielle Perez. I am the daughter of my lovely parents, Art and Relly Perez, sitting there in the center. I'm sure they're very excited to hear what I have to say, but no pressure. Just to start, I did want to say I was very honored when Tito Arielle asked me to speak for the LSG Achieves banquet. Here, we're honoring so many of the great students who have achieved lots of accomplishments and will continue to accomplish more. Today, I'm 5 years into my career at Cox Enterprises, and since my graduation from Georgia Tech, where I did play club basketball, and continuing to grow in my field while also still getting to play basketball. So one thing I'll say is when I look around the room to all of these students, I see the next generation of the Filipino-American students that will continue to grow and uplift our community. You guys will all grow into superstar athletes and amazing adults. Like they mentioned, I was also once an LSG Kulet, so I participated in all of those Kulets practices, those exhibition games. While growing up watching my dad play, and again, I'm super thankful I still get to play with him even today. So, what Tito Arielle asked me to talk about today is my experiences as a college student to help give an idea of what you guys can expect as you continue moving forward. And so I'll try to relate some of this to the sports that everybody plays, so hopefully you guys can understand some of the metaphors. But just to start, at the surface of the college experience, obviously you guys will be introduced to so many new experiences, both good, some bad, and then new environments and new struggles. I think the first thing you'll probably think of is the academics. So as a freshman, you can start college with a major in your mind, or you can also go in undecided, and both is okay. Something that what's important here is that at least you know what your next step is. So whether it's knowing what general education class to sign up for, or at least having someone to talk to about what you have in your head, I think is good to know. You'll have new classes with different professors. Some of those college classes may be harder, and if you're anything like me, you'll need to find new ways to study. I won't lie, there were definitely a few failed exams. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But that's part of the experience, and you'll learn from each of those failures and hopefully come out maybe with an A or a B, and sometimes if you just pass the class, that's the win. But another part of the college experience is your social life. So there's so many different walks of life of people that will, not just in college, but across the universe, but especially converging onto one campus. So one thing that I'll encourage everyone, as well as especially students, is encourage you to go out and explore, meet new people, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there because you'll never know who you'll meet. You can always give people a chance, even if you didn't necessarily work with them or be friends with them before. And so you'll build new friendships, and some of those friendships will last you the rest of your life. But also, be careful as well, because some people may leave you with more lessons than memories. Another part of the social life is the sports and clubs, which is probably what a lot of people will be excited for. There is something for everybody out there. So whether you do continue to play your sports and at the college level, or if you choose to not play or play at the intramurals for fun, there's so many opportunities, and you could even try out new intramurals like sand volleyball. I did a stint in bowling, it was okay. And even if you choose not to play, just know that there are other opportunities for you. You can still join other clubs, whether you're into robotics or if you want to join the Filipino Student Association. There's so much out there. And these clubs are some of the easiest places for you to help build those communities that you found. Something like you found in LSG or in whatever Filipino community you become a part of as well. The next piece in college that I think everyone can relate to is the struggles. So there will be good and bad struggles. There's obviously a lot of fun things that you can do in college, and sometimes it's hard to see that there will also be the hardships and the obstacles. Just like when you're practicing in your sport, you have your good days at practice, you have your bad days at practice, and then there are the games that no matter how much you prepared for, it just doesn't turn out the way that you expected. But from here, what's important is how you handle it. And that's always up to you. I know my mindset is to always know that you're in control of your own game. There will always be other factors like your people, coaches, schedules, life, but only you can control how you react to it. And so just make sure you keep your head in the game, you can focus on yourself, and also at the end of the day, it's okay to not be okay, so just make sure you take care of yourself. Another piece of the struggles is also the good struggles. So for some, this may be, actually for most, this is probably the first time you're living away from home or living away from your parents. I know for me, it was my first time, and this means, you don't have your mom doing your laundry or having food ready after practice or after classes, and your dad isn't there to tell you any life lessons or coach you through any school or life problems. Luckily for me, I know they were only 40 minutes away, so they could check up on me if they wanted to. But all of this to say is that there will be some healthy struggles, and growing into your own independence and your own confidence is important. Just like during a game, you'll come to those situations where you need to make those decisions. And so whether it's are you gonna pass or are you gonna shoot? Are you gonna go study for that exam or hang out with your friends? Or are you gonna sleep in or maybe head over to that 8 a.m. class, which I don't recommend taking. But just trust your gut on what decision you make. And then one thing that also relates, so as with any good basketball game, you have your fans, aka your support system. As much as you want to be an independent adult and how you probably can do it on your own, the truth at the end of the day is you will still need your support system. And it can be your parents, it can be your friends, it can be your teachers or whoever is around. Support can come from near or far, and I know I always had my parents, no matter how far away they were, and so you'll always appreciate that the same. It's important that you surround yourself with people that do continue to uplift and energize you, especially because sometimes when you're at your lowest of lows, they're the ones that will support you to keep you going. And lastly, not the last thing about college, but the last thing I will mention is all of the growth that you will have. So many times during your college career, or even after that through life, you'll continue to learn and grow, just like after every game or competition. Sometimes after the game, it can be the best feeling, like the high from beating a team in overtime, making the winning basket, but also it can be that heartbreak, tough loss after you put it all on the court and it still didn't turn that way. And you may cry. I know I did in a few of my games, but that's okay. And there is so much growth in all of that. Even after the tough losses, and that could be tough losses like failed exams or failed internships that you didn't get. It's not a loss if you learn something, which is something that my dad said to me. It holds a lot of truth to it, but also I do know that a loss in a game is still a loss in the record book, so you guys can have that. But growth. So in conclusion, just to tie it all together, there are so many new and exciting and potentially intimidating things out there, just like any basketball game or sporting competition. Through it all, hopefully you'll know that you have all of your fans, aka your parents and your friends, and your old and new experiences behind you. So all of those games, practices, one-on-one sessions that you did. There will be still unknowns and difficulties and challenges, but you'll be able to make those game time decisions just to trust yourself. And you'll have those little victories. So when life keeps throwing any obstacles related to your game, persevere and don't be afraid to make the next move or take the next shot. I know after one of my tough basketball games, where a lot of my shots weren't falling and I was super frustrated, I had one last quote from my greatest coach and the best dad in the world. He told me, stop shooting like I'm afraid to miss it or to mess up. He said, don't shoot to not miss, always shoot to make the shot. And that quote has stuck with me forever. Sorry. Thanks for always being there, Dad, and also for Mom for cheering in the stand.